I love this comic book, The Walking Dead, book number 25. Rick and Dale continue to search the rest of A Block before they open it up as living space. While talking about how the generator will make their lives easier, Rick mentions that he hadn't had time to notice how long it's been since he's heard any music. Rick then tells Dale about meeting Morgan and his son. Rick can't remember Dwayne's name, and that he believes Morgan made the smart decision by staying put and fending for themselves. He wonders if Morgan and his son are still out there when they hear a noise. When they swing around the corner ready to shoot, they run into Tyreese, whose flashlight has run out of power. While the three men are talking, Glenn and Maggie join them carrying police riot gear. Glenn thinks it will be useful for scavenging, as the armor is bulletproof, so it should make them safe from zombie bites. They show them the weapons locker where they found the suits, which is right next to the warden's office. Rick wonders how Dexter and Andrew got into the locker without being attacked. Tyreese comments that it's a good thing Dexter and Andrew didn't take the riot gear as well, as they would have been much more trouble, especially if the helmets are bulletproof. This comment causes Rick to glare at him. Meanwhile, Lori and Carol are carrying books from the library when Carol expresses worry about Lori. Lori tells her that she, Carol, is the one everyone is worried about because of the recent suicide attempt. Carol says that what has her worried the most is that her daughter Sophia acts as if nothing ever happened. Lori comforts Carol, saying there is no point in beating herself up about it. Suddenly, Carol starts crying and saying she's sorry. Lori is confused that Carol is apologizing to her, but Carol explains that she and Rick are her closest friends and that she feels like she's let them down. Carol confesses that she doesn't want Lori and Rick to hate her. Even more confused, Lori assures Carol that they don't hate her, and in fact love her, causing Carol to embrace her in gratitude. This clearly makes Lori uncomfortable, but Carol can't see her face, so she doesn't know. Tyreese says he plans on cataloging the guns tomorrow, with Rick adding that they should also siphon gasoline to activate the generator. Glenn thinks they can still do it today, and Rick agrees, saying they can siphon some gas out of the RV. But Dale opposes this, saying they should have the RV ready just in case they need to make a quick getaway. Rick suggests they siphon gas out of the cars in the prison parking lot. But how? Glenn devises a plan for he and Rick to sneak into the parking lot and siphon some gas, while the rest of the group distracts the zombies. Rick approves of this plan. Rick goes to visit Alan's grave. He tells Alan that he's glad they decided to bury him instead of burning him, and goes on to apologize for cutting his leg off. Meanwhile, Carl wants to help distract the zombies, but Lori says no. Dale points out Carl would be on the other side of the fence, but Lori still thinks it's too dangerous. Rick supports Lori. Dale leads Otis and Billy along the fences, instructing them not to linger too long. Otis is annoyed by this and tells Dale not everyone is stupid. Dale teases him, causing Otis to get offended. Meanwhile, Rick is waiting for Glenn. Tyreese tells him that he will clear out the zombies at the gate while Rick and Glenn are siphoning gas. Rick wonders where Glenn is, and Axel jokes that he's probably with Maggie, adding that he doesn't blame him. Herschel reminds him that Maggie is his daughter, causing Axel to quickly apologize. Glenn finally arrives sporting the riot gear they had previously found. He gives a suit to Rick as well. They open the gate and make a break for the prison parking lot. Rick tells Glenn he doesn't need the visor, but Glenn thinks it's better to be safe. They arrive at the parking lot, and Glenn proceeds to suck the gas out of one while Rick keeps watch. Suddenly, Glenn spots a helicopter in the sky. That is a lot of searching of A block to make sure it's safe. And then nearly shooting Tyreese. Maybe at this point he really can't be killed. Time will tell. Rick brings up Morgan and his son and wonders if they are okay. Maybe in the near future he will make a trip to check on them. It feels like foreshadowing to me. Glenn finding the riot gear and guns and ammunition is a great find. I think that will be a great help for many aspects of their new life moving forward. They will be zombie attack proof when suited up, able to easily wipe out a horde of zombies without getting bitten. Lori and Carol in the books. It's nice that Carol is returning to normal. Well, sort of. I agree with her worry about Lori's pregnancy. Modern medicine is gone. What happens if something goes wrong? Mom and baby likely die. But Carol apologizes to Lori. I assume this is because she kissed Rick and she thinks Rick told Lori. I don't think he ever got the chance. There's nothing in the book that states he actually told her. Maybe we find out about that down the line. I'm not sure. Lori is clearly a bit uncomfortable with how Carol is showing affection to others and how she reacts to things. I am guessing she thinks Carol is a ticking time bomb. I might agree with that assessment. I get a kick out of how Rick and Glenn put on the riot suit to go to the parking lot and get some gas out of the cars for the generator. I'll be curious to find out how much gas they are able to get from all of those vehicles over time. A helicopter in the sky? Where did this come from? Is it military, private, or something else? Thanks for tuning in to the I Love This Comic Book podcast. If you would like to make a donation in support of this podcast, you can through Cash App to Pasta26MC. That's pasta like the food, the number 2, the number 6, M as in monkey, C as in cat. If you would like to sponsor this podcast or advertise on it, please send an email to podcast@pastasworld.com. As always, you can go to pastasworld.com for more information.